What is up, YouTube? Brian here, back again with another high-end rod review, and this is going to be a quick one today. I know I say that every time, but I don't have a lot to say about this rod. However, I know a lot of people are probably interested in this, and I'm kind of surprised that I haven't given this rod its own video. I've brought this rod up many times in my other videos as kind of a control of like a really proper medium-heavy power bait casting rod, and that is the 7.2 medium-heavy Shimano Expride. Now, I've had this rod for this is going to be my third year using this rod. I picked it up, back when they were actually easier to get. So right now, finding these 7.2 medium-heavy Exprides is very difficult, especially during COVID times. These are like impossible to find. They were a little harder 3 years ago, but shops did have them. These retail at $280. However, a lot of places you could pick these up for like $200 to $215, even shipped. I think I actually paid $200 shipped for this rod because I bought it with a bunch of other Exprides, and when the guy bundled them all together, I got them for like $200 a piece. So the point is, you can, pre-COVID, you could get these rods for cheaper. Nowadays, if you find one, you might just have to jump on it for retail for the full $280. But there is some meat on the bone for shops to discount these a little bit, so just FYI when you're out there looking for them. Anyway, let's talk about the actual rod. This is Shimano's kind of mid-range rod. It's lower than the Conquest, obviously. It's higher than the Zodius is. It's in that, it's in that like just sub $300 price point. Now, everyone loves these rods, and there's a couple reasons. So let's go over. So right now, this rod does a lot of stuff for me. This is a really just do it all, does everything, medium heavy. This rod is extremely versatile. It's really light. It comes in at about 4.5 ounces. It's like 4.5 and change. So it's about a 4.5 ounce rod, which makes it extremely light. It balances really well with pretty much any reel you put on it. I've had a Crawl K on this rod. Right now I have a Shimano Metanium, the 2016 Metanium, and it feels fantastic. I'm going to do the finger test just because I know people like that. So with the Metanium, it's just above the lock nut, which is perfect. I know I like, if I'm going to have a rod that feels good in the hand, I like that balance point to be right around the lock nut. Obviously, it's not going to work for every single rod out there, but I think a 7.2 medium heavy, I think it's pretty reasonable to expect a decent balance point right around that lock nut. And that's with a Metanium MGL reel. I know these Metaniums, the 2016 Metaniums aren't really like lightweight by today's standards. I think it's still about a 6 ounce reel, but anyway. So just goes to show you this this rod just feels really good with whatever reel you put on it. It is rated up to an ounce. I find that this rod does really well with jigs in the 3/8 to 5/8 ounce range. So 3/8, half, 5/8, this rod can do it. This rod is really good for 5/8 jigs. So if you flip a little heavier jig, like ½ ounce to 5/8 in grass, this rod's going to be killer for that. This is a really great Texas rig rod. You can throw spinnerbaits on this rod, and you can definitely swim jig with this rod. This rod is actually a really good swim jig rod, and the tip on this thing, I would say that this is, I think this is rated as a fast in Shimano's standards, but to me, it's a real fast. It's almost maybe even extra fast. So if we look at the tip real quick, so that bend, this tip is not super soft. This tip isn't like St. Croix soft, but it also isn't NRX stiff. I mean, this is just to me, this is like the perfect fast to extra fast tip. So if you're noticing right here, that bend kicks into the background, like right here. So you got your tip bends, and then you got a little more flex right in that first third. But then when you get to about half point in the rod, like right around here, boom, you're right into the backbone. So this has this is a really good example of a traditional medium heavy fast action bait casting rod. So one other thing that's nice about these Shimano Exprides is it does have that, I think they call it the X45 wrap. So the whole rod is covered in this like cross weaved tape. You find this X45 also in like the Shimano Conquest. What's nice about this rod and the X wrap is it makes it durable. I've beaten the snot out of this rod for the last 3 years, and I cannot find any, just like the Shimano Conquest, you can't find any wear, tear, scrapes, epoxy coming off, I mean, this thing looks, the blank and everything, this rod just still looks like I bought it. Shimano Exprides are extremely durable. They can take a beating. They can go in and out of the rod locker. They can get thrown on your deck. You can throw this thing in your truck. I like this rod because it's durable, it's light, it's super versatile. Like I said, I use it for primarily swim jigs, Texas rigs. In the fall, I love dragging 3/8 ounce football jigs with this rod when we're out smallmouth fishing. Spinner baits, buzz baits. It's just a great one rod to do them all. It's a true variety stick. You can just do a lot of stuff with it, and it's really fun to use. The cork on it, I would say, is like kind of a B grade. There is filler, but none of the filler over the last 3 years has fallen out. I do have this thing U40 cork sealed. You get the EVA grip on the bottom. You get the little cork hits in the middle. You get really nice silver accents on this rod. It's got SIC stainless steel guides, which make them very strong. So you're getting those nice strong guides on this. And the sensitivity on this rod is, on this particular model, all the X-Prides are a little different. There's some that are better than others with sensitivity. I would say that this one is like a solid 7.5 to 8 out of 10. This thing is not like lights out sensitive, but for like that 250, like that, I mean, it retails at 280, but if you can get these rods still for like around 220, 230, I mean, this thing's lights out. This is going to run circles around any $200 price point rod, and it's not that much more money. So you're getting a lot of versatility, you're getting good sensitivity, you're getting extremely durable finish on this blank. You can really beat if you're hard on your equipment, like you're a kayaker, or you're someone who's, you know, transporting your rods in and out of places all the time, this thing is going to hold up. What I would say is, if you are an angler and you have a limited option on rods, like say you don't have a big budget, or you're on a kayak, or you're a co-angler, and you can't bring a ton of rods, this rod can cover so many techniques with just slapping some fluorocarbon on it, or even braid to a fluorocarbon leader, that this rod is just so versatile. It is one you should really consider to bring with you if you can't bring a bunch of rods. So when I go out and co-angle or fish with my buddies, or I'm on someone else's boat, or I'm going bank fishing, or I'm going to a campground or something and I can't bring my boat and all my stuff, this is always a rod that I have with me at all times, just because it can just basically throw anything on this, and it's probably going to do it pretty well. I mean, I can throw a top water on this, you know, I get whatever you need, any kind of bait casting applications, this rod can probably handle it. So anyway, versatility is great, light, fit and finish is fantastic, price point is good. It's, you know, 4.5 ounces, which puts it right up there with rods in the plus $300 price range. It's up there with like Megabass rods, and up there with St. Croix, and up there with NRXs as far as like weight. Anyway, that's all I really got to say. This is just a killer rod. It's really hard to get. Good luck finding them. For a while, I actually had 2 of them because I use these so much. I was like, oh, I should have 2. And I found myself just really using one most of the time and not really using the other one I had rigged up, so I ended up selling it. But this is such a good rod. You could get multiple of these in your rod locker and find all sorts of different uses for them. So anyway, I got really, honestly, I'm not a Shimano shill, but this particular rod is one that I'm going to be keeping in my collection for as long as possible. It's just a great all-around stick. I'm going to run the Metanium on it this year, just to change it up. I've tried different reels on it, but I'm going to run it with the Metanium this year. Just because it really looks really cool, because you got all that silver accents, and you got that silver Metanium reel. I just think aesthetically that's pleasing, and plus it's really well balanced and light. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. This thing, they do not come with hook keepers, FYI, so you do have to throw one on. I usually throw in these knockoff Fuji hook keepers that you can get on eBay. You can get a whole pack of them from China for like $10 or something like that. You get like 15 of them, something like that. So anyway, don't worry about the hook keeper deal. It's not that important. You can just get Fuji knockoffs on eBay. So anyway, that's my review on this guy. Thanks for watching. If you made it to the end of the video, you are a true rod snob, and you should definitely be hitting like and subscribe on this video, and then keep tuned, because my rod and reel arsenal for 2021 is coming. I'm gonna have to put that together in the next couple of weeks. So until then, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.